اگر ہے ریڈی تو ورنہ میرے پاس بھی ہے اور موقع دے دیں. ہے تو میرے پاس بھی موقع سب کو مل جائے انشاءاللہ.
درود بر محمد و اہل بیت محمد علیہ اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم الحمد للہ رب العالمین الصلاۃ والسلام علی اشرف الانبیاء والمرسلین صلی اللہ ثم الصلاۃ والسلام علی امیر المؤمنین وامام المتقین علی ابن ابی طالب اللہ ثم الصلاۃ والسلام علیک السیدات الجلیلات المخدومات محرومات عن حق میراث ابیہا سیدتنا فاطمۃ الزہراء اللہم صلی علی ثم الصلاۃ والسلام علی حسن المعصوم مغموم الشہید بسم الجفا ثم الصلاۃ والسلام علی حسین الغریب المظلوم المقتول بجرم و بخطا بارض کربلا درود بر محمد و مجلس شاہ میں میرا برسر منبر ہونا مرزانی صاحب فرمائیں مجلس شاہ میں میرا برسر منبر ہونا اس کو کہتے ہیں نصیب کا سکندر ہونا ان کے ایمان پہ بھی شک ان پہ خدائی دو کا کیسے پھر میں مان لوں ان کا برابر ہونا زخم کھا کے بھی جو قاتل کو پلائے شربت زیب دیتا ہے اس کو ساقیے کوثر ہونا ذہن چ کوئی ایسی چیز نہیں ہے نزدیک ہے نا ہاں میرے جسم میں جان جب تک رہے گی میں کرتا رہوں گا ثنا پنج تن کی میرے جسم میں جان جب تک رہے گی میں کرتا رہوں گا ثنا پنج تن کی میں فقط آل محمد کی ثنا کرتا ہوں لوگ کہتے ہیں انہیں حد سے بڑھا دیتا ہوں حالانکہ ان کے درجات و کمالات مجھے کیا معلوم جو پیغمبر نے کہا وہ سنا دیتا ہوں میرے جسم میں جان جب تک رہے گی میں کرتا رہوں گا ثنا پنج تن کی میرے جسم میں جان جب تک رہے گی मैं करता रहूंगा सना पंज तन की, मैं क्या और मेरी हकीकत ही क्या है, सना कर रहा है खुदा पंज तन की। फकत बशर नहीं, अल्लाह कुरान इच आले मुहम्मद दे कसायद पढ़ता है पिया, लेकिन अगर इंसान समझे ते बरोजे माशर एक टोला बड़ी जल्दी दे नाल जन्नत वाले पासे गामजन होसी। कुरान आंदा है हातफे गैबी दी आवाज आसी वाकुफून, रोको रोको इन्हां नू रोको, इन्हां दे कोलों अजे सवाल जवाब करने बाकी हैं। शायर ने अपने अंदाज विच उन्हां दा हुलिया दसिया है, गर्दन मोटी सुतन छोटी, हाथे च दुश्मनी है आले मुहम्मद दे दाणियां दी कसोटी। जिस वक्त रोकया जाएगा ये बंदे माइंड कर जाएंगे और माइंड करके कहेंगे भाई हमें क्यों रोक लिया, किस वजह से। नमाजें वेले दी नमाज कोयले दियां टकरा, रोजे ना रोजा रखन दा टाइम ते ना दोवें मिलदे नहीं, ते लेकिन असां छड्डिया एक नहीं। नमाजां रोजे हज्जां दे हज इबादत दा ढेर, ते फिर भी सानू रोक लिया गया। ये ते ज्यादती है। इन्हां दे नाल फरिश्ता मुखातब हो के आखसन, ओ कम बख्तो मगज न खाओ, खामोशी से नार में जाओ, दिखाओ हमें वो इबादत कहाँ है, इबादत की जो के रूहे रवां है, ये बेजान रोजे नमाजें तो लाए, कहाँ भूल आए विला पंज तन की, ये बेजान रोजे नमाजें तो लाए, कहाँ भूल आए विला पंज तन की। दिन रात अल्लाह दी इबादत करना बहुत बड़ा एक शर्फ है। अगर कोई इंसान कोशिश करे खुदा को राजी करने के लिए तो बेहतर है, लेकिन आम मशहूर है बात यहाँ तक नहीं रुकी, सिर्फ इबादत खुदा तक। खुदा से और भी इल्तिजाएं, या अल्लाह मेरे पीरां नू मेरे पीरां दे पीरां ते राजी हो जा, या अल्लाह उन्हां ते राजी हो जा जिन्हां दे उत्ते सैन बतूर राजी नहीं। भूल के अपना हाल और माजी करता है अल्लाह को राजी। ए आदम हव्वा के नालायक लड़के, तू आले पैगंबर को नाराज करके, कहां से खुदा की रजा ढूंढता है, खुदा की रजा है रजा पंज तन की, मेरे जिस्म में जान जब तक रहेगी, मैं करता रहूंगा सना पंज तन की। अगर इस दुनिया में कोई अमल रह जाए तो उसका और इंसान दुनिया छोड़ जाए, उसके वर्सा उसकी अदायगी करवा के तो उसके अमाल को बख्शवा सकते हैं, उसके दर्जात को बढ़ा सकते हैं। तो इसी ज़िमन में अगर इंसान कोशिश करे तो अपने अमाल की बख्शिश के लिए आले मोहम्मद के वसीले से अपने आप को उस दर्जे पे ले जा सकता है कि जो मंसूब और जो इंसान की तहलीक की असल वजह है। तो इसी ज़िमन में कंबर साहब ने अगला मिसरा लिखा है, अमल गर कोई भी कज़ा हो गया है तो پھر اس قضا کی یقیناً ادا ہے، مگر دوستو یہ ادا پھر نہ ہوگی، مودت نہ کرنا قضا پنج تن کی۔ کسا دے تھلے پنج، حضرت ام سلمہ یہ منظر جب دیکھا تو ارادہ کیا، بی بی اپنی جگہ سے اٹھی نہیں ہے، اور دلوں کے ارادے کو جاننے والے پیغمبر خدا دیکھ کے کہا کہ بے شک تو ہے خیر پہ، لیکن یہ جگہ تیرے لیے نہیں ہے، یہ فقط ان کے لیے ہے جو اس کی ساکھ نہیں۔ تو اس ضمن میں اگر کوئی اب زبردستی ہے اہل بیت کے ساتھ کسی کو کرنے کی کوشش کرے تو اس کی اپنی مرضی ہے۔ انبیاء کے سردار وجہ تحلیق کائنات نے واضح طور پہ یہ چیز پیغام دیا کہ یہ فقط اور فقط کسا اور پنجتن پاک یہ مخصوص ہے ان ہستیوں کے لیے۔ شاہ فرمایا کلثوم بچڑی تے چا دسترخوان وچھاؤ، تے اج رل مل سب بہن برا میرے رلے کھانا کھاؤ، اتے بعد تاکی بات نماز دے بچڑی میرے رلے بہ جاؤ، اللہ لعنت اللہ علی القوم الظالمین۔
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Assalamu alaikum, Momineen. Unfortunately, there was a major accident in traffic, which has led to Moulana unfortunately not being able to come on time, and we would have been able to have a 15-minute speech. But what we're going to do, in the interest of time, and obviously as Maghrib approaches, we'll request Moulana Ali Abbas Razawi to just recite Masaib in the next 10 minutes or so, and then we'll head for namaz. Salawat. Allahumma.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. Amma ba'd. Today is the 19th of Ramadan, and this is probably the first time in 7 years that I'm not in Najaf, but the picture is in my mind. At least once in your life, I pray that everyone is able to go to Masjid al-Kufa. Just before Fajr time, when you walk into Masjid al-Kufa, there's a feeling that goes through everyone's heart, and that is this: Ghareebun yabqi ghareeb. Only a ghareeb cries for a ghareeb. As you walk in, you feel ghareeb, you feel lonely. Because at that moment, Najaf and Kufa is full of loneliness. Today, you're far away from your families. Today, you're far away. You yourself know that your roots are somewhere else. You could be sitting in millions of people, and in Masjid al-Kufa you'll see millions of people are there. But every single individual will be feeling lonely. There's a ghurba that passes your heart, and your heart begins to break. As the time of the adhan comes, you see people walking in one direction and in another direction. They don't know what's happening, why they're walking, how they're walking. And as the time for adhan comes closer and closer, there's just one feeling. If you can feel it, you feel that Sayyidah Zainab at some stage, somewhere along this, is walking this. And in the haram of Amir al-Mu'mineen, you have a voice that goes up, and that's Labbaik ya Zainab. Why is that? Look at the tradition and see. They say on the final night, on the 19th night, Amir al-Mu'mineen comes to the house of Kulthum. They say on that night, 3 dishes are brought in front of him. There was milk there, there was vinegar there, and there was bread there. He removes the milk, and he eats just a little bit of bread with vinegar. So his daughter asks him, says, "Father, what are you only eating this for?" Reply comes, he says, "I want to go in front of my Lord with an empty stomach." So she goes, "What time has come? What's befallen you that you're saying this? Going in front of your Lord, why?" They say at this moment she's very worried. Tradition says she goes, everyone now begins to come. All the daughters of Amir al-Mu'mineen come. Daughters of Amir, just to see how Amir al-Mu'mineen is. And that night for the Imam is heavy. As time begins to go, and Fajr time begins to come, traditions, that man who all night would go and feed the orphans. In one tradition it says, he says to his son, "Son, whatever happens to me, make sure the orphans are fed." And it was at that stage, where in the morning, when he gets up, tradition says as he's coming out of his house, the birds that come in front of him, and they're grabbing his abaya and not letting him go. And it was then that one tradition says Kulthum reaches out to Sayyidah Zainab, says, "Come and see what's happening here." Zainab comes forward. She looks, she has tears in her eyes. "What is this?" Because these birds are reciting my Noha. They're reciting for me, they're reciting about my death. Tradition says when the Imam goes in, and this is what you see on the 19th in Kufa, everything is red. As you go inside, you see the crack on the wall of Masjid al-Kufa. When you go in, and you go into that area where the Imam was hit, the entire area is red at that stage. And you see people are crying and they're waiting. Waiting for what? You can almost feel as if the Imam is coming. The entire place is full. People are praying. You can feel that it's almost as if the Imam is coming. And what does he do? Tradition says the first thing he does, he wakes up Ibn Muljam. And he says, "You get up. You've got to do what you've got to do. I've got to do what I've got to do." Tradition says at that point when he comes in, the time for Adhan is coming. When Amir al-Mu'mineen says, "Allahu Akbar," and when the Muazzin in Kufa says, "Allahu Akbar," you know there's a pain there. In the tradition it says all of the daughters of the Imam began to cry. They said today father feels a lot of pain in his heart that he's doing this. The way that he said, "Allahu Akbar." It says that when he says Allahu Akbar, there's a pain that goes. And that pain is such, everyone feels it. Many people fall into sajda at that time. Many people are crying at that time. But look, there's one thing there. There's a difference there than on the day of Ashura. If you go from Kufa and you go to Ashura, here you see Allahu Akbar. But over there when you hear Allahu Akbar, there's a difference. One person is running in one direction, the other person is running in the other direction. Difference is this. Here all of the daughters of Amir al-Mu'mineen were crying together. You go to, on the day of Ashura, what you see with Hussein? There's something else. You don't get that kind of crying together. Why is that? Why? It's because when Hussein dies, you notice one daughter is running in one direction, the other one is running in the other direction. You know, they say Amir al-Mu'mineen is a lion, right? Even when he's hit on the head. So he doesn't cry. Imam Hassan and Hussein were crying, he didn't cry. What does he say? He says, "Sons, this time will pass. This time will pass. People are crying. Imam is not crying. When he's stretched out and he's brought to his house, people are crying. Imam is not crying. At the moment when he goes to his door, he says, stand me up. He says, why? He says, because my daughters are there. They won't be able to see me being stretched. They say, but there was one time, they say, when Amir al-Mu'mineen broke, is it when he went inside, he saw Zainab crying, he began to cry. The difference between Amir al-Mu'mineen here and the difference between Hussein is this. They say when Sakina was crying, Hussein held it together. Had Hussein cried, she would have broken completely. When that final moment came for the Imam, he was in sajda at the time. So that when Ibn Muljim came, when you yourself go to Masjid al-Kufa, you'll see this. You see that a time comes, it feels as if almost if Jibreel is coming. تحدمت والله أركان الهدى قتل علي المرتضى. That moment is such that you can feel almost that Jibreel is coming at that time. You've seen it in pictures, feel it for yourself and go, now come and see this. You know what happens when Imam Hussein was there? Amir al-Mu'mineen is there in sajda, head on the head. People come and they capture, they hold on to Ibn Muljim. Go and see on the day of Ashura. Hussein is also there. Ibn Muljim wanted to hit the neck of Imam Hussein, Amir al-Mu'mineen. He wasn't able to hit the neck of Amir. He hit the head of Amir al-Mu'mineen. But you find on Ashura, what happens? Imam Hussein is there, and that at that stage, that person does hit the neck. On the one place, head is hit. On the other, the neck is hit. On the one place, you don't find anyone there. On the other place, one tradition says that Zahara comes onto the all the women are in their houses, they weren't able to see what happened to the Imam. They say 70 paces away, say that Zainab was standing there. And as she was standing there, they say Shimmer comes forward. Tradition says, وَجَعَلَسَ عَلَى صَدْرَهِ, he sits on the chest of Imam Hussein. Ibn Muljim wasn't able to do this, but he grabs the Imam and chucks it on the floor. Says when he grabbed onto the beard of Imam Hussein, he takes a sword, begins to hack the front side of Imam Hussein. One tradition says puts him on the other side, begin to hack the other side. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Mata Imam Hussein.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله